Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to midday market action. Not midnight, midday market action. My name is Glenn, senior stock market strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. First trading day of the week after a drastic big pullback in the week last week. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. All right, so first trading day of the week. I got 61 people here. Wait for the alert to hit. Once it hits, I got a story to tell you. I got a very interesting story. I actually got two stories to tell. One includes Mark Norton, who we played golf this week, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. And then I got another story that happened yesterday at church that I'm going to talk about as well. Good afternoon, Janice, Horace, Cedrock Doc. I like that name. Blaine, G. Dave, Eric, Richard, James, Pennywise. There you go. All right. So once the alert hits, again, I got a couple of stories to tell. Hopefully everybody had a good week. It looks like the alert just hit. I heard it. Good afternoon, Bill. Good afternoon. 78 people here. Waiting. 98. It's pumping up. You know me. I want to get 300 people in the room, but I want to make sure. Hi, Diana. I want to make sure that we get there it is, 125. Good afternoon, Harry, as well. Clyde says top of the morning. All right. So there we go, 171. Real quick clue. Put the link in the chat. I want everybody to share the link real quick. Let's try to get 300 people or more into the room. All right. We got 210. Let's push it to 300. As I always say, there's no reason with the content that we give that we can't get 300 people in the room. So let's get right into it. As you look at the market is showing a lot of red, but today we're popping off the red. We've got 3 yellow in the price RT and the buy to sell ratio, but our indicators are getting close to the values of looking for a market bottom. We've got a lot of earnings this week, a lot of important earnings coming up this week. Could we be starting to bottom out and the market starts to rebound because of a lot of the tech stocks, the AI stocks that have been beaten up, earnings coming out? Tonight's video, the 6 p.m. video, is going to still be my top weekly picks for the U.S. and Canada, but I'm going to give my top 5 earnings picks this week for the U.S. So make sure you tune in for that. I'll tell you what stocks I think you should stay away from, and of course, what stocks you should definitely keep in mind. TSLQ is making me a lot of money. I'm only investing in 2 stocks right now. I have TSLQ and the SQQQ. That's it. My portfolio is doing well. RTX is going to be one of my stocks on tonight's video because I'm still big on AI craze and I'm still big on defense stocks. So RTX is going to about 3 aerospace and defense stocks are reporting this week. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, somebody else. But that's going to be in my video this week. So primarily I'm going to be looking at AI stocks. I'm also got a couple of stocks that I would rather you stay away from. So don't miss out on tonight's 6 p.m. video. All right. So now we got 237 people here. 2 stories real quick. One, Mark Norton came to North Carolina and we played golf on Saturday. Mark can hit the ball. I hit the ball all over the place. And we didn't do any scoring at all. But Mark can play some golf. He's got solid fundamentals and technique down. He can put some weight behind the ball, and that was one. The next story, and very interesting story. So I serve at my church on the media team, and I'm coming in to the sanctuary, of course, way before we get started. And the drummer, we had a guest drummer come in. The drummer looks at me, he goes, "Glenn." And I look at him, I'm like, "Who the heck are you?" And he says, "Glenn Tompkins." And I'm really looking at it, and I'm like, "Who are you?" He says, "You're on VectorVest, right?" I was like, "Whoa." He says, "Yeah, I follow you on YouTube." And the first words come out of his mouth is, "You changed my life." And this is why I do what I do. This is exactly why I do what I do. He says, "Man, you changed my life." And I was like, whoa. He's a drummer out of Fayetteville. Every so often he comes in and fills in for one of our regular drummers. And, first thing going to my mind is, who are you? Do I owe you money? Are you an undercover cop? Did I do something? But that was like the second person ever that knew me from VectorVest. And the first time that happened, I was playing softball and I went to catch a line drive and I didn't catch it with my glove. I caught it with my hand and my hand swole up bigly. I went to the VA. The doctor comes out and says, Glenn Tompkins? I says, yes. He says, you work at VectorVest? I said, yes. And he says, oh, nice to meet you. He did the x-ray on my hand, says, nothing's broke, but it's nice to meet you. I was like, so that was actually 3 stories altogether. So, all right. With that being said, I just thought that it was worthwhile for me to tell that story because it really wraps up the things that I do and why I love doing what I do for you guys. All right. With that being said, the market is doing a little rebound today. All of the major indices are up. All right. We're getting a little bit out of the red into more yellow, but let's go over into the VectorVest software and let's take a look at the market timing graph. So here we are. Here's the market getting beaten up. I honestly feel that this was something that was needed. We needed a pullback in the market. And, hopefully we kept you on board before we got the confirmed down call, even though we got whipsawed here. But the market has definitely had a healthy pullback. But now I'm looking at the indicators, the MTI at a value of 0.68 and the buy to sell ratio at 0.33. Once the MTI gets to a level of 0.6, the market is starting to look for a bottom. The buy to sell ratio, when it gets to a value of 0.20, it's starting to look for a bottom. We're not there yet, but the market, I think, in anticipation of some of the bigger earnings names coming out, look at that rebound today. My SQQQ is taking a little bit of a hit. My TSLQ is still going down, so I'm great about that. But all I'm going to tell you is we're right at a level of resistance sitting at 63.10. We're now 3 or 4 cents above it. Let's see where the market closes. But I think that today's move is a couple of things. We've gone down. The market's gotten beaten up. We're close to a level of looking for a bottom, number one. And number two, the anticipation of the earnings coming up. I think the market is about the bottom, says Linda. Amir says, should we add some SMC? I'm not telling you to add anything yet. Let the market come to you, Amir. Let the market come to you. One day doesn't make a trend. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days down, one day doesn't make a trend. And all of our indicators are in the red or below 1 or unfavorable. I think you don't think about adding anything yet. And John says the election weighs on the market. This is going to be an interesting year, John. And normally I'm with you. I'm 110% with you. But it's going to be interesting if the data doesn't support a cut. We may not get a cut even though it's an election year. That's kind of far out there. I don't think a lot of you probably agree with that, but this is an interesting year. I've said on more than one occasion, this is not a normal trading year. This market has been everything but normal. So I'm of the mindset if the data doesn't support a cut, we ain't getting one. I'm holding what I have now, says Pennywise. Wait for follow through day. Stacy is right on point, Amir. Let's wait for that. Time to sell SOXS. You know something? If you get nervous with the contras that you have, if you're getting nervous, I'm not going to tell you to Katie bar the door. What I will tell you, though, is take some off now if you're nervous, Jazz. All right, if you're nervous. But today hasn't finished yet. What happens if we stay below this level of 63.10 and the market still shows signs of a downside? Well, if you take some off, you lock in profits on the SQQQ, the SOXS, in all of those contras. So just keep that in mind. All right. Pennywise says, yes, this year is definitely the exception to the rule. Holding, but trimming my contras, says Christopher. I'm all about that. I got my 2. I'm going to watch today. If today closes in the green, I might trim back on those contras. I'm up nicely on both of them. All right. I'm up nicely on both of them. All right. From here, let's just talk about what's going on in the news. What's pushing the market in the direction it's going? And let's look at the news. So top 5 things to watch in the markets this week ahead. Again, big earnings week. Inflation numbers come out Friday. Investors also get another look at the U.S. inflation data on Friday with the PCE. All right. And that's the Fed's reserves favorite inflation gauge. If it comes in hot folks, they're still going to keep pushing down or pushing back on the time limit on when to start cutting. We've got now to the fourth quarter, which is what, October, November, December, October. All right. This is going to be very, very interesting. Chaim, we're going to look at individual stocks a little later in the presentation. So is it time? So I answered Jazz's question. I have GBH stop set on all my accounts, good. What is GBH? Goodbye. I don't know what that is. All right. Second thing to watch out this week, big tech earnings. We're going to be looking at Meta, Google, Tesla, Visa. Again, some of these stocks will be in my list tonight for my top weekly picks. Big tech earnings though. All right. Oil prices settled slightly higher on Friday, but posted a weekly decline after Iran downplayed Israel's retaliatory drone strike on its soil, indicating that an escalation in hostilities in the Middle East might be avoided. I think oil goes as a war goes in the Middle East. All right. So I still, I'm not holding USO right now. I made money on it. I'm not currently holding. I might be. Wait a minute. I might have 4 stocks. I have to check. I have to double check. I know I have SQQQ and I know I have TSLQ. I might be still holding oil, but I'm going to keep my eyes on that. I can look at hundreds of stocks and they have the same pattern as the market, but I look at VZ and we see a bounce back. All right. But can one stock bring the whole market back up? And the answer to that is no. But we also know that 80% of the stocks go with the market's direction, right? So maybe Lou is looking at some of the 20% that are going against. I think the also part of the 20% that might go against the market's move is going to be the AI stocks. AI is still a hot craze. It still is a hot craze, but we got to look at some of these earnings that are coming out. PMI data, that's going to be in the Eurozone, US, and the UK on Tuesday for any signs that inflation, especially in the service sector, is returning. So PCE on Friday, PMI on Tuesday. We're going to keep our eyes on that. The Bank of Japan, something, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of looking at everybody else's economy. Somebody else told me, he said, you need to be looking at other economies across the globe. Why? All of our economies may be interlocked globally, but all of our economies are different. Our economy is fine. Is it great? No, but is it better than what the Fed is looking for? Yes. And I know that because they are not cutting interest rates. So whatever everybody else does, that's what they do. I'm concentrating on what's going on in ours. All right. Fang D is another good play, Jazz. That's another great play. I don't have that in another. I might have that in another portfolio. And thank you for that, Linda. The PCE is on 8:30 tomorrow. Economies are different, says Pennywise. All right. So those are 5 top things looking at the market for the week. This is another big story. I do own IBIT. I do, and I bought it before the halving. Anybody trading in either Bitcoin or crypto right now, just type a 1. Anybody trading in Bitcoin or crypto, type a 1. I told you that I think that the miners are going to be the biggest hurt by the halving. All right. So which is why I played the spot ETF. So I am playing IBIT. Nice little move up today. Not a big move, but I think that with the halving, Bitcoin is going to have the propensity to go higher than it was. It climbs near 66,000. And we'll keep it, miners made good money with fees. I still am going to say they are going to take a bit of a hit unless Bitcoin really starts to run, then the miners will catch up. I have a nice position in IBIT and I avoid the miners. So I do own IBIT. I'm not holding any of the miners right now. All right. Big story as well. Tesla is going to report earnings. Slides 4%. Li Auto sinks 8% as the EV maker slashed prices amid fierce competition. Elon Musk is still cutting prices in China. And I know he knows that's going to hurt Tesla. I know he knows that. But he's still doing it. And not only Tesla is doing it, Li Auto, NIO, probably all of them are in the same boat. Now, I do want to say this. If the major car manufacturers are pushing more towards hybrid, all of the EV companies are going to feel the effect of that, with the biggest one, Tesla. All of these companies are all electric, not hybrid, but they're all electric. This space is really in for a slide if the major manufacturers are putting more of their money into the hybrid space. Now, Tesla's got a hand up on this because not only do they do the cars, but they do batteries. They do a lot of different things. So Tesla is a little bit more diversified than the Lees and the Neos and the Rivians and all of the all-electric companies. So I don't know if Elon Musk is keeping this in mind. He must be, because he's still going after China. I think it's silly. Pennywise says a big recall on the Cybertrucks too. I don't think Tesla beats earnings. All right. If you're looking at that from a play, I would definitely still be playing Tesla to the downside. I don't think anything is going to come good out of the earnings. All right. So Tesla is going to be a stock that reports this week that I'm going to stay away from. That's one of them I'm going to tell you to stay away from. If you're playing it to the downside like me and a couple of other people, TSLQ is probably the best way to go. Probably the best way to go. Or another way, if you want to play the industry, KARS. That's an industry on the EVs. Go see if it's got options. If it's got options, I'd buy puts on those. I would buy puts on KARS. Somebody let me know, does that have options? I don't know if they do or don't. Somebody check that out for me. But if they do, that's a good way to play the whole industry. Deborah says EVSV. Got you. Tesla should miss on earnings and probably down year over year. Bill, I'm with that on you 110%. Akshaya says, what I heard on CNBC this morning, that Elon pissed off the people that believe in green economy. Will it come back? You know, there's only one thing that I like about Tesla. It's a good company. It's a solid company. Elon Musk is an innovator. Those are all key positive points that I like about Tesla. The problem is, show me the money. That's my problem with right now. You got a whole lot of people who are investing in your company that are not making money. And if you don't change that, Tesla's not coming back. Not coming back anytime soon. That's my 2 cents in regards to that. By the time the legacy car makers pivot to hybrids, they will have missed that trend and the market will be somewhere else. Richard, I still think that there's enough time for them to still get into it. People have already gotten their appetites wetted. Is that a good word? Wetted? Wetted by the whole EV space, that I think that they would be more apt, especially what happened in Iowa this winter. I think they'll be more apt to go with a hybrid. I think that they will be more apt to go with a hybrid. It's cars. Options are cars are available. KARS. There you go. Thank you for that, Janice. So if you want to play the EV space as a whole, I would say you would buy puts on KARS. All right. BMW is killing Tesla. They did get the okay for the self-driving car. Tesla's trying to catch up to BMW from that perspective, Hyam. Elon needs to be humbled, says Alfreda. You know something? Amir, do not lose your... Oh, what did Amir say? Oh, yeah. Amir, stop doing that. Stop. You stop. All right. And I'll say that to anybody. If you're playing with the money, if you're investing in the money that you need to live off of, you don't do that, Amir. You don't. Nobody in this room should do this. Everybody understand that? Let me get an honest assessment on that. Does everybody understand that when you're playing in the market, you don't play with the money that you have to eat and to pay your bills? I need everybody in the room to answer that, because if I never tell you that, then I'm remiss in being, and I don't want to call myself a fiduciary, but I don't ever want anybody to think that the stocks that we talk about are just, these stocks are going to make you billionaires, millionaires off overnight. I have never said that, and I never will say that. But there's some great opportunities to make money in the market, and we talk about those great opportunities. But folks, do not play with the money that you need to live off of. So I'm seeing the yeses come in the room because I think that's an extremely important point. I don't know how many people on YouTube talk to their communities like that. I'm never going to tell this community that any stock that I give you is guaranteed, ever. I will never do that. I have no other choice. I can't go to work yet for Amir, I can't have this conversation with you in here. I'm looking at the people for the most part telling me that they understand. Amir, you got to understand that as well. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. So Tesla, be careful with that. I don't think that they hit on earnings or revenue. I really don't. With the war that's going on, I don't think that they hit on either one. And I'm going to let VV Nation talk to you, Amir, not me. I'm going to let VV Nation out there talk to you. This is a great community. So the drummer that I was talking about, that I saw at church, he says, one thing I like about you, Glenn, is that you make this a community. And that's why I talk to you guys. I ask you to chime in. That was a big point of positivity from him, was that we make this a community. So that's the way I look at it. So how do you start if you don't do that? Because Deborah, you start off. Now, I'm going to tell you, Deborah, that when I first started investing, I'm going to tell you this. Way back in the day when we were working, after you made a year with working at VectorVest, VectorVest gave you a check for $2,500 to go invest in the market. One of the reasons why I love this company, they do everything that they can to help us to make money in the market. Gave us $2,500. I took $1,000 of that money. Don't ask me about the other $1,500. I took $1,000 of that money, Debbie, put it into the market. In 8 years, I turned that $1,000 into over $80,000. Now, before everybody goes up here and goes either BS or, wow, how did you do that? I traded primarily options with that $1,000 because you can make unlimited profit on calls and puts, puts unlimited down to zero. So when I sit back and I tell you guys, that you need to learn to play options, especially calls and puts, those are the basic options. I'm not just whistling Dixie. I knew nothing about the stock market when I got here. But $1,000 into 80 grand in 8 years took a lot of work, but it took a lot of good luck. I started in 2004-ish or so. The majority of the money that was made in 2007, 2008. That was I made a ton of freaking money with calls and puts, primarily puts, in 2007, 2008. So from that perspective, when I tell you guys, you need to learn to play options. And I need to tell you something else about that. Do you know that options are less riskier than stocks? Options, for everybody out there that thinks, well, I'm not playing options because they're more risky. Options are less riskier than stocks because you have a specific amount of money you can lose on any trade, not with a stock. You can lose a lot more money on a stock than you do with an option. Folks, how many of you have not learned options yet? Type of 1. How many of you have not learned at least calls and puts? How many of you have not done that yet? Type of 1 in the room. All right, type of 1 in the room. Folks, we talked about this before Jim Penner was on here. We talked about the options jump starter course. For everybody who's typing 1, you guys need to learn basic options, calls and puts. It will change your life. All my people who know options, do you agree with that statement that I just said, that basic options will change your life? Type a yes or a no. Lim, I do that all the time. How many of you think, all of you who are options people, how many will tell the people who are typing 1 that options can change your life? So all the people who typed 1 in the room, look at the chat. All right, for all of the people who typed 1 in the room, look at the chat. All right, so this is all part of this community thing on our channel. This is all part of the community thing on our channel. I always get you involved, and I love when people who are subscribers to the channel or to the software, talk to the people who are not. I'm going to always toe the company line, but I love it. This is real community. I love it when people who are subscribers to the software talk to you guys who are not. So it's not me. Watch the chat. All right. So with that being said, Mimi works here. It takes a bit to really get it right, but once it clicks, it's amazing. Mimi works here. All right. So with all of that, Mark Jenna says, at Mark Norton, Glenn said nice things about your golf game. Oh, is Mark here? I know he got home. I made sure he let me know when he got home. He did. Is he here? There it is. Sorry I'm late. I was Billy. Did you get it? Did you get it, Mark? Is it done? Is it done? Ooh, good for Mark. Good for Mark. One caution, Glenn. Learn options trading first. Ron Wheeler is a great options instructor. Way to go, Mark. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for you. I am so happy for you. Mark and I had great conversation over the weekend, and something big happened for him today, and that is awesome. That is so awesome. All right. So now let me get off my high chair. For all you people who are not subscribers to the channel after looking at the chat, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. All right, I did that as well. And if you liked just this little session here, this little community session that we had here, make sure you hit the like button. All right, make sure you hit the, we had up to 300 people. And then after I just started talking, they started walking back away. But we did, you guys made it happen. We had 300 people in here. And so thank you for that. All right, with that being said, let's go look. Now, you guys know I love me some Apple, right? What did I tell you about Apple? I've been telling you, I said, keep your eyes on Apple. I think that Apple is getting heavy into the generative AI, and they're going to come out with some stuff. You know, they're looking at everybody else's AI and da-da-da-da-da. I'm just telling you, keep your eyes on Apple. Apple may employ over 500,000 people in India over the next 3 years. That's a lot of freaking folks. I'm telling you, Apple can't do that unless they got something going on. And it ain't just the rent. And, you know, you got to have a job if you want to be a me. But I think Apple's got something else going on that we don't know about. I'm telling you ahead of time. Your Uncle Glenn is telling you, keep your eyes on Apple. I didn't tell you to go buy it right here, right now. Keep your eyes on Apple. All right. So Apple Indonesia, they're looking to put $2-3 billion into a facility in India. But 500,000 people in India over the next 3 years is a lot of folks. That's a lot of folks. I'm telling you, keep your eyes on Apple. And you know me, I'm going to tell you when it's the right time. This is another story. 13 new obesity drugs could hit the market by 2029. Everybody and their mama want an obesity drug. Now, I'm on one. All right. But it's part of my diabetic regimen. I'm on Jardiance. I take once daily Jardiance and I lose weight. I'm talking about my A1C. I love that commercial. And then I also like, Ozempic. You know, I love those commercials. So, but you know what I hate about those commercials? Mark just said click. you know what I hate about those commercials? All of the stuff, well, you could get blah, blah, all the side effects scare the hell out of me. They do. All of the side effects really scare me, but I take Jardiance. So there's a lot of, you know, and from this story, I'm going to be looking at Novo Nordisk and I'm going to be looking at Eli Lilly. And last but not least, here is the earnings earnings coming out. This is a lot of stocks. It's a lot of stocks. And I'm going to be looking at a few of these in tonight's video. Again, which stocks I like, which ones I don't like. But big names, General Dynamics, RTX, Boeing was there. There's Boeing. So I like the aerospace and defense space, but I also like the Metas, the Microsofts. What else? I do like Spotify, but I'm going to have a few of these stocks in tonight's video. When you stop the weight loss drugs, the weight comes back. You know, but I can't, that's true. That's true. Wow. Linda says, look up the side effects from Tylenol. You'll be shocked. Are you serious? Wow. Working out has little to no side effects, Mr. Glenn. I'm not working out. I'm not working out, but I'm losing the weight. I am losing the weight. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Change what I eat. I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and eat it. Yep, that's what I'm on. I'm on a seafood diet. SMCI reports April 30th. That's later in the month, Phyllis. I'm going to keep my eyes on that. It's been beaten up a lot. Now, there's a positive side to that. How low can a stock go? At some point in time, you got to say that to yourself. How low can you go? SMCI might be rampaging back. I just don't know when. What did Mark say? Mark said something. Mark says, John, too much positive energy in my world right now to play the downside of anything. Mark is probably on cloud 9 right now, and I'm also that is awesome. I wonder if Mr. Glenn is still in the Palantir. I love that stock. I'm just not in it right now. That's a stock that I think it's got a lot of upside potential, but I need to time it. And a lot of those contracts need to turn into hard money. That's the big thing that I got to wait for, Richard, is that. If you have a subscription to the mobile app, can you access the one on the computer? Yep. You can do them both. Not at the same time, though. One more. I didn't even have any residual physical pain after golfing with Glenn. Mental pain, maybe. Yeah, we went through some stuff. We lost a lot of balls, but it wasn't our fault. It was the course. It wasn't our fault. It really wasn't. The fairways weren't very well manicured. And we were losing balls in the high clover patches. So Mark put a lot of good balls in the fairway. I put a few good balls in the fairway. He put a lot more in the fairway than I did. Mobile app watch lists are available on desktop. Absolutely fits. All right. And I'm not holding Palantir right now, Pennywise, not adding to Palantir right now, but definitely holding. I'm not holding it right now. I put my money into making my stuff grow right now, and I'm in the hot stuff. So there's my 4. I'm in SQQQ, I'm in TSLQ, I'm in IBIT, I'm in oil. All right, those are my 4 plays right now. I still got a lot of money sitting on the sidelines, but those are the 4 plays that I have on right now. Amir, we're going to get to that in a second. So here's all of the stories that I've got for earnings. Again, don't forget tonight's video is going to be specifically on my earnings plays for the week, what to look at and what to stay away from. Increasing fund ownership in Palantir watching. So more of the big money is getting into it, right, Stacy? More of the big money is getting into Palantir. Now, as I look at today, remember I talked about we now are above this level of resistance, which is now a level of support. We're going to see how we close today. I think a lot of this is anticipation of earnings this week. We will see. I'm not anywhere near down in SQQ. I'm up nicely in SQQ, but I'm going to make sure that I keep a lot of it. So I may take half off the table and lock in those profits. There's no way you should be down on SQQQ, especially if you followed. What's the date that this happened? 410. I want to see something real quick. 410. I'm going to do it. I'm going to still do it this way. I'm going to go to SQQQ. Just want to look at SQQ. I can't see how you would be down. SQQQ. And let's look at that from 410 when we got the confirmed down call. Just want to prove a point. Hopefully I do. Hopefully I don't look like an idiot. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I don't look at this. Quick test it. Yeah, 16% since the confirmed down. And you're telling me you're down on it. I'm not sure why. That was from the actual day of the confirmed down call. It's almost up 17%. All right. So I just wanted to show that, Amir. I know I'm up double digits on it. All right. I'm up double digits on it. And I'm willing to lock in some of that profit and take half off the table. All right. So I just wanted to do that on the fly because I'm wondering how you're going to tell me that you're down on SQQQ. All right. Big stocks that made the news from all my news stories. Let's auto fit. So IBIT nicely up today. Drugs for obesity. The heck? Take that off. Both of those are up. I would look at these. Both of these are fundamentally sound companies. And they're going to play major roles in developing more of these drugs for weight loss. I am in oil a little bit down today. I'm okay with that. I'm still up close to double digits on oil. Apple, I'm telling you now, if you didn't hear it anyplace else, you heard it here. Keep your eyes on Apple. Now it's back to fundamentally sound, relative value back above 1, which is a positive sign. It's not in an uptrend yet. RT is still below 1. It is still overvalued, but I'm telling you, from a generative AI perspective, hold on to your hats. I think they got something big. I think that they got something big. I don't know, but I think that they got something big. Tesla, stay away from. Tesla is not the play. All right, Tesla is not the play right now. And I think that Elon is doubling down on the cost cutting, doubling down. Laid off people. He's doing everything he can to stay afloat. And I'm thinking more and more of his investors. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great innovator. The company is good. Look at that. Relative value is now falling. I think overall they're a good company. But man, if you're not making money, you ain't making sense. And a lot of people are going to be like, you ain't making me no money. Go ahead and buy Apple with RT over 1. Probably I would look at that. Actually, let's go look at Apple. Apple doesn't report until when? Anybody know when Apple reports? It's in the slow lane. It's been volatile. I would like to see from this perspective, looking at the star search, I'd like to see it in the fast lane and RT above 1. I'd like to see it in the fast lane and RT above 1. Hi, Santalal. Do you recommend the CDR stocks when the U.S. stocks are good? Kathy, that's a good question that I don't have a specific answer to. I'm not going to lie. You know, one thing I like about what I do is I'm never going to blow smoke where it don't belong. It's May 2nd for Apple. Thank you. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure yes or no on that, Kathy. Apple is May 2nd. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Pennywise. Thank you, Tom. We got time. We got a little time. Thank you, Brenda. We got a little bit of time. But if I'm looking at this graph, I am definitely looking in the fast lane. Look at over the last 3 months. It's got in the fast lane. 1 day, no confirmation. 1 day confirmation. And so I am definitely looking for the fast lane. I'm looking for RT above 1. And let's go see how much more news comes out of Apple prior to earnings. Apple MACD on weekly chart is getting low. It's going to take some time, but this is going to be a good swing trade. And again, looking at this graph, I think it's close, very 1 day off the 3-month low. Again, how low can you go? We'll see. Amazon has their earnings April 30th. That's not on my list for this week, but Amazon is another stock that I'm keeping my eyes on for earnings. All right, let me close this out. Earnings this week, we did not this one. Where's the money going today? Let's go find out our little heat map to see where the money is going today. Linda says SMCI is on 430 as well. So Apple's May 2nd. Apple's May 2nd. Amazon and SMCI and we got a lot of good earnings coming up. That's for sure. All right, let's go see where the money's going today. Natural gas. For me, natural gas is a day trade. It is so volatile. The regional banks are up today. Financials are up. Consumer staples, energy. Where's the money not going? Gold. Strong dollar. I did see some news on the dollar getting stronger. That's going to affect gold. It's probably going to affect a couple of commodities. Copper is getting affected by that as well. Lithium, uranium, oil. You know, like I said, I still own oil. 1 day doesn't make a trend, but watch, today as a way of where the money is going, it looks like it's going into natural gas today. Silver is probably, do I not have silver in here? I'm going to put that in. What's a good one? SIV? Yeah, I'm going to put that. All right, let's go see. If gold is down, most likely silver is down as well. Most likely silver is down it's all the way at the back. It's down even more than gold. All right, it's down even more than gold. Looking for a pullback in gold. Before you look for a pullback, check the dollar. Check the dollar. And there's the dollar. The dollar is up today. When the dollar is up, gold tends to fall. All right. So anybody who's out there, there is a direct correlation between the dollar and gold. When the dollar is getting stronger, gold is getting weaker. So just keep that in mind. Money going into China today. I am not a fan of China. I do not believe their numbers, but I think a lot of people globally are looking at China is starting to pick up in their economy. They had to cut rates. They did, because that was their economy. I think that a lot of people are feeling warm and fuzzy about China. I'm not feeling warm, nor am I feeling cozy. They're going to put out the data that they want to put out. I don't believe it. That's me. That's me. Anybody on board with what I think? All right, and if you're not, that's fine. That's fine. I am not a fan of the numbers that China put out. I think that they're lying. All right, I'm a outright say it. I'm a outright say it. I think that they're lying, and so I'm not warm and fuzzy about China. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put in yin and yang. Oops, yin. It's not yin. You got yang. Don't you got yang? Yeah, we're going to go with yang. And it's probably going down. I think it's going down. Where's yang? Yang is probably going down. A lot of people are feeling bullish about China. I'm not. I'm not. China cooks their books. Agree. I'm not about China. Any India? Yes. INDA. There you go. I'll put the India index in there. I have played that. The problem is with that stock or that ETF, the problem with it is very gappy. View the stock graph. It's very gappy. That's what I don't like about it. It's very gappy. I played it through here. All right, I did play it through here, but it's gappy. Overall, over the last 3 months, it's higher. I don't mind playing the Indian market. I just don't like the gapiosity. I just don't like the gapiosity of it. All right, and there we go. INCO. Jazz, you mess with me? INCO. That is another. Yeah, there you go. I do like playing the Indian market, and I think companies like Tesla going into that market, Apple's in that market, is pushing up their economy. So I don't mind playing those, but there's two. There's two. INCO. So I got two of them, INCO and INDA. All right. Today, you guys did a good job at asking questions because I didn't give you a lot of fish today. With the way the market is, I didn't give you any MPI stuff. What I am going to tell you, I did. That's not the one I want to erase that. That's not what I wanted. I am telling you still right now, look at contras. But if we're getting close to a market bottom, be careful with your contras. How many of you are trading contras type of 1? How many of you are trading them? There's that TSLQ. I'm so happy I own that. How many of you are trading contras type of 1? All I'm going to tell you is if the market is getting to a level of looking for a bottom, folks, and you're getting a little nervous about these, don't be afraid to take half off the table. Don't be afraid to take half off of the table, because going back to the graph, that's one day. One day, this is going to hurt your contras. Today is going to hurt your contras. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But there's a gap. We did break through a level of resistance, and we are getting to the levels where the market is starting to look for a bottom. If any of those things have you nervous, do not be afraid to take half off the table. Lock in those profits from this big fall. Folks, do not give it all back. I'm putting my foot down, and I'm using my father voice in the room. Do not give back what you've made on these contras. Does everybody understand? I just put my foot down and use my father inside voice. Does everybody understand? I do not want you guys to lose on this. This was a nice pullback in the market. Do not lose it. Today is one day. If you're getting nervous, don't be afraid to take half off the table. Lock in those profits. And if the market keeps on going down, you sit back, oh man, I listened to Glenn. Forget that. If you made money on the trade, stop yapping your gums. Because I hear that a lot. Well, Glenn got me out. He told me to get out and the market went. So what? Did you make money on the trade? Then you should be a happy individual. Enough said. All right. Let's go back to the viewers. Linda says, you gave great examples last Thursday on taking the profits. Well, that was needed. That presentation, that live stream was needed because there's a lot of people in this room who are just somewhere else rather than being right here. You're all someplace else. And I needed to rein you in. I needed to rein you in on all of those stocks that you're still holding. Well, should we? I needed to raid you in. I needed to bring you in. All right. So with that being said, don't worry about any of this other stuff. Let's go straight to your picks. I think that this week is not a good week to give you a lot of fish except for contras. Oh, yes. Here, Glenn's picks. For those of you who are still wanting to short the market, I did give some shorting stocks for you, and they all are optionable. They're all optionable. Let's graph these all real quick. So these are my picks for you this week. I'm not going to do anything bullish. Stock, moving down, coming close to fading the gap in the middle lane, not the slow lane, but the DPOs are both moving down. There it is. That's in the slow lane. That's in the slow lane. That's in the slow lane. That's in the middle lane, not in the slow lane. But I've given you fish for this week. They are shorting candidates, and they are all optionable. All right, so don't worry, Glenn, please look at TCEHY. TCE, I hate that stock. HY, it's too many freaking letters. CLSK, all right, hold on. VTRX, I'm not worried about how many likes I got today. I already got some of the stocks. All right, wait a minute. Don't put any picks. Stop putting picks in. I'll tell you in a second. Let me get these ones that I got. Stop putting picks. Hold on. I'll tell you in a second. VZ, IESC, TCEHY, CLSK, AVGO. Now, type them into the room. VRTX. Please, if possible, I got you. Rumar said stopping. CRWD, FTAI, RTX, crowd, CRWD, FTAI, IBIT, new, gosh dang it, new, PXD, RJF. I'm going to type until I'm tired of typing. CRM, EPD, EPMD, AROC, DHI. Why do you want to look at DHI? Horton? HCC, Clean Spark is already up there. Are you messing with me? Did you just call my mama? What'd you say about my mama, Rodney? Glenn, well, BA has a chance to go up after Wednesday. BA is going to be on my list. BA is going to be tough. I don't think that they're going to meet earnings or revenue. They're losing out on orders on their planes, so I am not a fan of BA. Too much negativity about them. I don't think that they're going to beat. That's my 2 cents. Now understand that I'm gonna hit. That's enough stocks today. Understand that I'm just a guy. All right, just understand that I'm just a guy. So from that perspective, I just based on the news, I don't think that it's going to work out. All right, so RTX I think is going to beat. LMT is going to beat. Boeing will not beat. General Dynamics I think is going to beat. I think just about every company with the exception of Boeing in the aerospace and defense will beat. All right, will beat. You're right, Linda. There's too much going on at BA. Mama's Korea. I know Rodney. I thought Rodney was talking about my mama. I was going to, Rodney, I'm finna go have some words with you. All right. I'm only playing Rodney. VST, what's at the bottom of the list? Verizon at the bottom of the list by VST. So is CrowdStrike. I like CrowdStrike. Just right now. And the two big things about it is RTs. They're both in downtrends. Neither one of them are fundamentally sound. All right, let's go take a look at these graphs. I'm going to graph them really quick. This time I'm going to use the MPI. Let's go back to the MPI. And we're not putting anything in portfolios today. IESC. Oh, no. Where's my other one? I got a different one. MPI live stream somewhere. Live stream MPI. I added a couple of things. I got a stop. I've got the 20-day and I got volume. Interesting about IESC. I'm not feeling it right now. It's got trend. I don't want the stop on right now. Why is that on here? Who put that on there? I did, evidently. It's below the 20. We lost trigger, and I'm watching volume. I'm not feeling IESC right now. This is one of those stocks that I wouldn't be afraid to take some off the table. Nice run up here, nice run up here, nice profits. All right, below the 20-day, even though I got trend, this is good for the people that say long term, I think I want to hold it, watch the trend. All right, but I'm not feeling it right now. I'm not feeling it right now. No contras in your list. Jazz, I already looked at contras. Already, did I not? Hold on, let me move this over. Did I not look at contras today? Let me go back to the viewers. I thought I looked at, did I not look at contras today? Here's the contras. I think it was only two that were going up. We did look at contras. Those are the only two that are going up there, Jazz. All right, these are the only two that are going up. All right, so these are some of the more popular ones anyway. So I still like contras, but this is why I told you guys to be careful because of the indicators saying that the market could be looking for a bottom. Just be careful. ISC is a hard no for me right now. FTAI, bottom left, top right, went below the 20 really quick and went back up. Still a buy. Short term, I could be taking profits on it. I'm also looking at volume going down, but you can't fight the tape. It's back above the 20. It still has trend. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with being still in FTAI. Definitely. Lee Auto is the gift that keeps on giving the short side. Absolutely. I'm telling you. That's why I talked about the EV space. Be careful in the EV space. I'm only trading this based on the halving. Nothing more, nothing less. It still has trend. I'm not feeling this downward move. Volume is also falling down on it as well. This is strictly news driven, and that's the only reason why I have it. There's no other reason why I would be in it. It's strictly because of the halving of Bitcoin. So with that being said, it's the only reason why I'm in it. New was a beautiful stock. It ain't no more. It ain't no more. And we're about to lose trend on it too. I'm not a fan of being in it. A good opportunity, even with the MPI. I love this addition of putting the 20-day moving average on it. That's where I would have gotten out or taken half off the table. That's where I would have gotten out. And I'm not a crypto convert. Don't even put that up there. I'm not even that. All right. Next one, CRM. Moved up here, fell below, went back up. Little sideways move right here, but gap down. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. We lost trend and trigger. We lost trend and trigger. CRM, I wouldn't be in it right now. DHI. Housing is, this is not a hot industry. This is not a hot industry. From the MPI, no trend, no trigger. I'm not feeling it, you know? And the cool thing about the analysis that I'm giving is not my opinion. The graph is telling me everything I need to know. You guys know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. A picture is worth it. This is the picture. 1,000 words say, nope. Now something interesting. I had a hammer here. Didn't work out. I got a hammer now. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan right here. Plus DHI builds crappy houses, says Janice. I don't know from experience. Maybe she does, but I'm not getting into that. But nonetheless, the picture is telling me no. The picture is telling me, A-Rock, bottom left, top right, big pullback. That would have been a good time to take half off the table. Trend is still in. We lost trigger. Look at volume. Sigh. Look at volume. Folks, this is another thing. When I can look at an end-of-day graph and see volume falling, there's not as much conviction to the move. All right, now I see it starting to move, but volume is not telling me, not confirming that. All right, Jeff says, Joey. Is Joey in here? Joey's not in here. Joey, JTP check-in. Did you get stopped out of NVIDIA? I check my JTP portfolio every morning. I don't even think he's here. I think he's down at our training center doing some stuff. Google the complaints from folks in DHI homes. Oh, is that what it is? All right. I'd keep my eye on it. I would have already had half of this out. I'd like to see it get back above it. We do have trend, but this 20-day gives me a more of confirmation of trend. Next one. RJF, Raymond James. Nice move. Fell, even though it fell below the 20. Never got a sell. Nicely moving up. Volume Friday was great. Not as much today, but I like that play. I do like that play. The graph is telling me, I like that play, and I cannot lie. AVG. Oh, it's got to go bye-bye. Nope. Lost trigger a long time ago. A little bit more volatile in the move. Below the 20-day. We're about to lose trend by way of MPI. What would you invest in if you had just had 1K for investment? I'd probably be looking, you know something? I'm going to hook up all of the people. I'm going to hook up all of the low dollar people in the room. I wonder if, do I have my portfolios? Did I do it? No. Back tester. No, I had something going on with the Qs, both to the upside and to the downside. I know it's something we got going on with Don Rietzma. I did an offset of that, buying the TQQQ in the up market and buying the SQQQQ, just those two. The only downside to that, to the question that comes out about just having $1,000 in your portfolio, is that they're both triple leverage contra, triple leverage regular and a triple leverage contra. Instead of buying the TQQQ and the SQQQ at the right time, I'd buy calls on the SQQQ in the down market. On an up market, I'd buy calls on the TQQQ. Does that make sense to my my knowledgeable investors in the room? Yes or no? With $1,000 in the market, buy calls on the TQQQ in the up market. Calls, not the stock. And in a down market, buy calls on the SQQQ. This is for all of the people in the room that don't have a lot of money in the market. I think that is a great way to go. Remember, options are less riskier than stocks. So even if they do go against you, you're going to only lose X amount of money. If you went and bought the TQQ or bought the SQQQ, you could get killed bigly. All right. So who asked me the question? Who asked me the question about having $1,000 in the market? There it is. Hope always. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? Options are that important and remember I told you it could be life-changing? That's the way they're already leveraged. You're right, David. But if I buy the options on them, the most I can lose is the premium I paid. If I buy them outright on a big up or down day, it's going to kill me in a big way. It's going to kill me in a big way. You don't. You lose only the premium you paid. You lose the premium you paid. And you can't lose any more than that. If you're going to be a buyer, I'd be a buyer 45 to 90 days out. I'm going to buy the time. If I'm going to be a seller, that's a whole different question. I'd be 30 days or less. I'd be 30 days or less. All right. So better to risk little than a lot. Absolutely, Ramor. Options, you lose all if it. Akshaya. Somebody talk to Akshaya. Somebody talk to Akshaya. The most I'm going to lose is the premium that I paid, and the premium that I paid is already leveraged. That somebody talk to Akshaya. All right. Agreed, but learn to trade. Use the paper portfolio first. Ron Willie. That's fine. That's fine as well. I'm not answering Akshaya. Y'all help Akshaya out there. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Let me finish going through these stocks. What time are we at? Well, almost 1 o'clock. Let's keep going. Wow. PXD. I like that. I got nothing bad to say about that. All right. I got nothing bad to say about that. That's a good play. VRTX getting back above. You know what I'm looking for here? Let's go see if we can break through that downtrend. All right. I said call options. I didn't say anything about cover call. I said call options. I said calls and puts. Calls and puts. I like that if we can break above that level of the downtrend. All right. Other than that, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. All right. Thank you, Mark. Again, I'm HCC. A little bit of a volatile stock, but definitely trend and trigger. That's another fish. HCC. You know what I'd look at if I'm not in it yet? I'd look to get above that level right there. That's almost at the 3-month high. Let's just go to the 3-month high. That's what I'm looking for. Why Mara is down compared to all I don't know. If there's any, I think all miners should be affected adversely. But if Mara is down for another, I don't know for sure. I'm not sure for sure. How certain options are. Is it more gambling? No, hope. Again, the most you guys that are asking the options questions, you guys need to tune in. You can get a self-study course on our options jump starter. You need to do that. You need to do that. All right. And Mark is going with Akshaya to help him out. Gold and crypto is down. Again, I told you why gold is down. The dollar got a little stronger. And crypto is we track the miners. They're going to get hurt. That's why I'm talking about the spot ETF IBIT for crypto. Clean Spark. I like the move. I do like the move. The volume's picking up. Ooh, would I buy it now? It'd be a more of an aggressive move to buy it now. I do. It's trading at session highs today, and I love the rising volume. And that's in the crypto space, right? I like the move. If you buy it now, it's very aggressive. But if you buy it now, your point to get back out is if it breaks back down below this 20-day. All right. What else? EPMD. That's another one. So EPD, what was the other petroleum that looked good? PXD. There's 2 petroleum stocks that I like in your list. PXD and EPD. I like the move. It got back above the 20. And we might be getting triggered again. The volume is pretty steady. That's another fish for you today. All right. But I'd like to see it tomorrow if it stays above the 20. All right. Next stock. Mama mia. I don't know what the news is on this. We just got trend on it. We're looking close to trigger. It broke through a level of resistance and it's above the 20-day. A little bit more of an aggressive move. Not trading at the session highs, but a little bit more of an aggressive move. I'd really like to see it take out the 3-month high, but this may not be a bad play. But I'd use this as my line in the sand, $4.99. If it falls back below that, you need to pull back on it. I don't know what the news is on this. Was this earnings? No, I don't know what the news was. That's a big move. We got trend trigger and the volume is there for the most part. New 3-month high and trading at session highs. Again, a little bit more of a volatile stock. If that's not your thing, stay away from it. But right now, I wouldn't mind it. Eric says, I agree with Jim Penna. VectorVest is a great instructor of the options jumpstarter course. That's another way to profitably learn to trade options. I need everybody in here to think about it. I need everybody in here who's not a player of options to call up to our product support and talk about the self-study guide on options jumpstarter. All right. Isn't TCEHY Chinese? If it is, sigh. But if I'm looking at the play, it's very gappy. I'm looking at the play, be careful. No. CrowdStrike, no. Not right now. I like the company. I like the space. Just not the right time. Just not the right time on CrowdStrike. And the last stock is, that was earnings. Good. Goodly muggly. The answer to that is no. No. I don't know. Did they come through and say our earnings suck? And if it did, no. All right, Phyllis says, do you still like RTX? Yep, that's going to be one of my stocks in tonight's video. You want to know more about it, how I feel about it? Watch tonight's 6 p.m. video. It's going to be my top weekly picks. Put me on the end, Koo. It's going to be one of my top my top weekly picks that I always do on Monday for U.S. and Canada. My top weekly picks for the U.S. are going to be earnings plays. Interesting, and as I'm looking at the market, we're trading at session highs. For those of you who are holding your SQQQ, don't be afraid to take half off the table today. Don't be afraid to take half off the table today. Don't give that profit up. Don't give that profit up. All right, how many likes did we got? I looked at more of the stocks than the likes you gave, but that's all right. I don't care. Today, a lot of great questions, a lot of great conversation, a lot of fostering of our community. So this is, wow, you really miss Joey. Jeff, I'm putting you in timeout. I don't know how to do it here. I'm putting you in timeout. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. I gotta go. We got things to do, people to see, places to go, all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Remember that even after this is done, you can still share the recorded version of this live stream. Let other people know what we're doing out there. I would love this community to grow tremendously, but that all comes from you. That all comes from you. All right, you guys got to help us grow this. We grew a lot of customers in a short amount of time, and whatever y'all are doing, keep doing it. Everybody say thank you to Koo today. He filled in for Joey for me today. Thank you very much, Koo. All right, I gotta go. Adios, arrivederci. Don't forget tonight's 6 p.m. video. You want to know more about the stocks that are on my mind that are for earnings, big earnings this week? Watch the video. Share the video. All right. Adios, arrivederci. Ciao. Thanks, Glenn. I need to make money to buy more gold. I'm gonna hook you up, Kirkland. I'm gonna take care of you, Mark. I'm gonna get you some golf balls. I'm gonna take care of you. 6 Eastern. That is correct. All right. Let me stop talking to you guys so I can sign out. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha, odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu, bye, see ya.